I usually try to avoid this part of the grocery. Hello and welcome to Apple Meets Spain. For today's video, we're going to do something different because I'm bringing you to the grocery with me. For today, we're going to Mercadona, which is one of the biggest grocery chains here in Spain. It has over 1,600 branches nationwide and it was established in 1977. According to its website, its primary focus is on food, drinks, personal care, housekeeping, and animal care. If in the Philippines we have SM or Robinson Supermarket, here in Spain we have Mercadona. I can go to this Mercadona branch either by walking or by car or even by bike. Now let's go inside the store and check out its operation hours. As you can see, this grocery is closed on Sundays. I also discussed this in my previous video, 10 things to know before moving to Spain. One of the main differences between the grocery in the Philippines and the grocery in Spain is their jamon section. This Mercadona branch is small but you can buy a whole leg of jamon. If a whole leg is too much for you, you can ask some of their staff to cut some slices for you. Slicing the jamon is considered a skill, and some people even go to school to learn how to slice it properly. There is nothing like a freshly cut jamon, but my husband swears by this jamon de Treveles. So this is the meat section in Mercadona, primarily pre-prepared meat. This is especially helpful to people who don't have a lot of time on their hands. So this is the albondigas, which is the equivalent of Spanish meatballs. Now let's get on to the section that shocked me the most. During my first visit to this grocery, I was surprised that they sell and eat rabbit. So basically, we don't buy a lot of meat products from this grocery store because my mother-in-law has a butcher shop where we get our usual meat needs. Just a fun fact, my mother-in-law's butcher shop was featured in Season 1, Episode 6 of Warrior Nun on Netflix. My mother-in-law also served as an extra for this one-day shoot way back in 2019. Now let's talk about one of the key ingredients in making a very good paella. I'm talking about azafran or saffron or what you call red gold. Saffron is considered to be the most expensive spice in the world, costing around $18 per gram based on a BBC article in 2017. Since we cannot have paella without rice, let's discuss what type or variety of rice we should use. Although technically we can use any variety, it is preferred to use arroz bomba. Bomba is a short grain variety of rice and is primarily used in paella valenciana. Since rice cookers are not that common here in Spain, you can often find cooked rice in their frozen section. Arroz tres delicias is a common menu here in Chinese or Asian restaurants. I haven't tried any of these frozen rice dishes here since I prefer to do it on my own. Now let's talk about one of the typical breakfasts here in Spain, which is the churros. There are two kinds of churros. One is the knotted one and the other one looks like a baton, which is also called a porra. According to a local churro shop owner here, the type of water you use to make the churros is very important in determining the taste of the churros. In the dry goods section, of course, we're going to find flour, but they also have something called migas. Migas is a typical Spanish dish that is usually made out of leftover bread. In the drink section, you will probably find the bebida de chufa or horchata, which is made out of tiger nuts. Since we are in the middle of the year, I was surprised that we still have turron in the supermarket. I would prefer if they have the almendras rellenas all year round. Another product that I love in Mercadona is their selection of ravioli. In the Philippines, I can only eat ravioli if I go to an Italian restaurant. My favorite in particular is the Parmigiano Reggiano and Truffa ravioli. In Mercadona, they sell truffle sauce but not the actual truffle. In the oil sections, of course, we can find a lot of olive oils, but I'm going to discuss in particular the sunflower oil. We use the sunflower oil for making popcorn and homemade mayonnaise. One thing that I love about Mercadona is their selection of marmalades because they have 0% sugar added to their marmalades. Particularly this one, the albaricoque or peach one, is quite nice in my opinion. One of the things that I love to do whenever I travel outside the country is visit their grocery stores. Why? Because I'm quite curious about what products they have in there. Grocery stores also mirror what type of food they like to eat. One of the things that I have noticed is that Spanish people are big yogurt eaters. You can find their yogurt in drinks or in cups. In fact, when the lockdown was implemented last March of 2019, the yogurt section was one of the areas where it's almost empty. One of the drinks that I love in Mercadona is a probiotic drink called Actimel, which is the Spanish version of the Yakult. Another thing that I love living here in Spain is their wide variety of cheeses because I personally love cheese. The usual groceries in the Philippines do not have a variety of cheese to choose from. My current favorite is the one from Entre Pinares, which is Viejo Tostado. Let's continue on browsing through the cheese aisle of Mercadona. I don't know if it's the proximity to Italy that made the Spanish people love pizza, but one thing I have noticed with the supermarkets here in Spain is that there are tons and tons of ready to eat pizzas available. You just need to reheat them in the oven and they're ready to go. I'm now here in the ready to eat section where I can find chicken like lasagna. There's also risotto that I think you just need to heat this up in the microwave in order to eat it directly. Again, this is quite helpful for people who don't have time to cook or think about what they want to eat. Now I'm browsing through the beverage section. As you can see, there are tons and tons of fruit juices available, also milk products. One thing I've noticed here is that a carton of milk is half the price of that in the Philippines. In this grocery store, there is also a baked goods section, although I don't know if the goods are delivered to them or they bake it inside the store. Since we are already done with the meat section, I'm going to show you a little bit of the seafood section where there are a lot of salmon, shrimp, but this one are the packaged one. I couldn't show you the video of the actual fish section because it was a little bit shaky. Okay, now I'm in the water, refreshment, and junk food aisle. So one thing I have noticed with the Spanish grocery and the Philippine grocery is that the Spanish one have a very small junk food aisle. I mean there is only a limited number of junk food you can choose from. For example, this one majority are with the Hacendado brand, which is the brand of Mercadona. So the international ones, there is very little to choose from in this grocery store. But if you go to, for example, other bigger groceries like Eroski or Carrefour, there are more junk food available there, but it's not as much as we have in the Philippines. Another difference is the instant noodles section, wherein you can literally count with your hands the number of items that are available. Okay, now we are in their tea section. Mostly these are from Mercadona, the brand of Mercadona, but I will discuss now Colacao. Colacao is like their version of Milo in the Philippines. Since it's now summertime here in Spain and it's quite hot, Mercadona have their own version of the popular flavors of ice cream. So these are the ones that are available all throughout their grocery stores, but I can guarantee you that this ones taste really good. A trip to the grocery wouldn't be complete without visiting their fresh produce section. As you can see, they are a big user of zucchini, bell pepper, mushrooms, and the like. Although I prefer fresh pasta, it's always nice to see what is the selection available in your local grocery store. So there you go. I hope you have a nice time going to the grocery with me. Again, thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day!